On August 9th, a giant anteater gave birth at the Houston Zoo.
Jatai, the female anteater, and Cyrano, the male, are housed together pretty much round the clock. We've actually been ultrasounding Jatai for almost 2 years now, looking for a baby.
She was 1.1 kilograms when she was born. She was very, very small. And now she's about 3.3, and she probably gains maybe 0.1 kilograms a day. So
The baby, a girl, was healthy, but her mom wouldn't nurse her.
We, on the veterinary side, had to decide, what does a healthy baby anteater look like? What should we expect? And what's going to make us think this baby isn't healthy and it needs medical care? And my role as a veterinarian to look up those things and come up with the best possible plan ahead of time, so when the baby's born, we already know what we need to do.
It was clear to zoo vets and keepers that the baby, named Olive, would be bottle fed and hand reared. That meant round-the-clock feeding every 2 hours.
Every mammal is kind of the same in the sense that if you get them straight off the bat without having mother interaction or whatever, they're pretty easy to get on a human bottle right away. The challenges with her is the fact that she's got that long tongue in her mouth. So she's got to learn to get the tongue out and move it to the side so that she can drink, readily and stuff.
Initially, home would be an incubator until Olive was old enough to regulate her own temperature. Olive would go home in the evening with a keeper for overnight feedings and return each morning to the zoo hospital.
When she went home at night, she'd sleep in here. This is actually the bird department had these made so they can bring baby birds home. And there's no, that's the same size. So these are, we call them brooder igloos, but they work great for small animals too.
Do you think you'll wake up for us? Hi. Hi. Hello, hon. I know it's me.
we now have to get her active and play with her. She's got to be active like a baby and get exercise and learn about her world, about grass and stuff like that.
We do have to be careful and just kind of anticipate what she's going to do ahead of time. As they do grow older, they do kind of swipe. And so any fast movements by them, they tend to do that. So you have to just kind of be wary of where they are and kind of anticipate what they might do at all times. Otherwise, we'll get a good bruise.
She has a little playpen and she has lots of toys to play with and take her aggression out on. And she has a kennel that she goes into when she's ready to go to sleep. So we want her to be a wild animal and to be able to go on exhibit and exhibit natural behaviors.
I'm a big fan of anteaters. For me, they're fascinating. It's definitely a learning curve with anteaters. There's not even a lot in the literature about them in the veterinary literature. So they're definitely one of those species that both makes you glad that you're a zoo vet and makes you wish sometimes maybe you hadn't become a zoo vet. This isn't the first baby anteater we've hand raised, but it's different because we are able to, through training and working with Jatai, be able to diagnose the pregnancy ahead of time and even have a projected due date, which really helped with our husbandry and being ready for the birth. And even though we were ready for the birth and the baby being born, it didn't turn out quite like we had hoped because we had hoped Jatai would raise her, but even though she didn't raise her, we were ready and the teams were ready and we all had our plans in place and we were able to raise so far a very healthy, successful baby.